Okay, so welcome to Module 4. All right. This is a complete access control installation and business training. Okay, so Module 4 is going to be very straight to the point. We're going to be doing some live work on this Module 4. Okay, so we're going to be starting with to understanding customer security needs and selecting the right system and component, to match their need. Okay, all right, so the client calls you now to say, okay, I need access control my house or an hotel. So you have to be able to understand their need and select the right devices or equipment that will solve the immediate problem. Okay, so let's look at the readers. You have to look at readers from different perspectives, from uh, the method of authentication, which is it going to be my biometric cards? Is it going to be biometrics, which is a fingerprint? Is it going to be card, RFID card, that's the radio frequency ID card? Is it going to be by PIN? Is it going to be by maybe like face recognition? You don't want to do a system where they have to, you know, be trying to use their hand or touch something. They could just do face because of infections. Multiple people touching the same surface. So you have to look at this requirement on these issues in medical line or environment now. It's better you do a facial recognition solution. You just go there with your face and it scan your face and you're in, not biometric. So people won't be having to touch that you know biometric interface, reader interface several times. So you can stop the transfer of microorganism and disease and whatever. Okay, so face recognition can serve. You have to know this need and uh, prepare it according to the environment for your need for your customers. All right. Also for the exit button, you have to look at the contact and contactless. So you can do your design and be able to give them a good solution that will solve problems. All right. So also let's look at the locks. We have like different kind of locks. So we have the major types for the single for the standalone solution or centralized solution. We have the magnetic locks and the electric strike locks. So let me tell you guys the difference between the magnetic lock and the electric strike lock. Okay, so magnetic lock uses magnetic energy to contract, to talk, like you know, to hold the two metal bar together, and they are so intact. You cannot break that circuit. You cannot break it until the access door controller or the reader send a signal to it to disengage. All right. So you can use that to ensure that your door is well locked. And now it has advantage, it has disadvantage. This magnetic clock now, when there is power, is locked. When the power is out, let's say there's a power outage in the building, it is engaged. You can now open the door and the door can be opened anyhow. When the power comes back, it sees power again, it contacts and it contracts and nobody can open it again until you use reader to open it. All right, that is a magnetic lock. So, but electric strike, it does not work like that. Electric strike, when they are locked together, even if power is out, they are locked. All right. So when there is power, there's no power, is locked. As far as the system has told you to lock. The only thing that can tell you to unlock is the system. Either the reader or the exit button will tell you to disunlock, unlock, and it will unlock. So that's the advantage of mag lock and electric strike. So in my own opinion, I would think I'll go with mag lock because mag lock is in case of emergency or power outage, everywhere opens. So you can know that okay, people can go in and out. But for electric strike, it stays locked until you get somebody that have access or you get the exit button to disengage. All right. Then if there is power outage, it stays locked until they bring in the power or you power the backup or the backup system is working. All right. So you have to know all these options when you are designing your system for your customer to know the right locks, the right readers to use, the right you know uh, exit button, the contact and contactless, and the controller. These are very, very, very important when you're designing a system. Okay. All right. So choosing a reader, we have different kind of reader, log and controllers. You have to tailor it uh, according to your site or client requirements. Okay. So this is very important when we're designing the system as a professional that is trained. So let's not assume. Let's just work based on the requirements. Because when there are issues, they're going to look at the document. What did we agree? What was the standard? What was agreed? What was the brief that was submitted? What was the quotation? What was the BUQ? We're going to be discussing based on that, not you think or you assume. So just follow the rules and the protocol and the norms. All right. Okay. So that's going to be very brief. Like I said, no wasting of time. All right. That's that for this course. See you in the next topic. Okay. So this is module 4.2, which is preparing the site plan for device installation, backup power, and the tools you're going to be needing to carry out these installations. We're going to be sharing some tips on how to go about this whole thing. Okay, so site survey, you have to assess, the entry and the exit points. Then the power source, has to also be discussed at the initial stage of the project, and also the potential obstacles. All right. So most access control are, they're going to be placed at the entrance point, and make sure the entrance point is always the exit point, or in the case of you have another exit, the exit should have a security also, so there will not be breaches in those security, um, you know, system. Okay, they also have to look at the device placement, how to position your devices, how to mount them, the best angle to mount them, the best height to mount them. All right, you know, based on the requirements and the environment. Some are 1.2 meters, some are about, uh, depending on the solution, some barrier 1.2, some are at 2 meters. Then also you have to do like a system that will suit the audience or the traffic in that particular area. You look at the tallest and the shortest person, you position it, for everybody to be able to access, right? For the ergonomics, okay? Then look at the wiring and network mapping. This also has to be considered because if you are doing a standalone, all the devices will be wired to the reader. So you have to be able to drill, bring your wire, do some piping, everything comes to the reader. Then from the reader gets the power supply backup from, the backup system. So it powers the entire system and they're all functional. All right. So then in terms of a centralized solution, this same standalone door will now be wired to the uh, control panel using network cable. This also has to be factored and will be planned, that will be made, for all these things at the initial stage. So when you get to that point, you know that okay, we already have the pipes that link from each of the door to the central point, which is the point where you have your door controller. It could be 4 door controller, it could be 2 door controller, it could be 8 door controllers. All right, so this is the power backup solution. If you don't have like a power solution like a UPS that lasts long, you can back up your system in case of power failure or changeover from NEPA or from power to maybe solar or inverter breakdown, something. So there should be a backup for your system, with batteries locked up in a very safe environment. Because if there's a power outage on the system, if it's a maglock, the door will be open, if you can recall. If it's the strike, the electric strike, it remain closed. All right, so all this has to be looked into at the initial stage. And these are the regular tools you have to use. You have to get your drilling machine, your multimeter to do your cable testing, and the cable tools, the wire cutters, the crimping tool, the testers. All this has to be made available. Also, as a new person that is entering the access control industry, you have to, you have to work with someone that's already doing installation, that's already expert in the field, so you can follow them to do some, practical. works and see how they do it, but you understand what they are doing, you know the principles, you understand how it works. All right. So this is very important because this requires some kind of precision. It requires a lot of experience and someone that have been doing it for a long time, has all this tool already. They know how to maneuver or find their way in case of compatibility. They know how to you try this kind of this different kind of cable and COM port to ensure the whole system works. All right. So you have to work with experts, that are already doing installation regularly. Where make sure you understand the principle and the training we are training you here. So understand the way everything works. All right. So when you get a job also, like I used to say, collaboration is the biggest innovation. You can't work alone, you can't do it all alone by yourself. You have to get someone that is into technical, installation, that have all these tools. Then you go to him to the site, you work with him, all right? You work some practical work with him. He shows you the connections again. We'll show you the connection here, but you learn different kind of connectivity styles and strategies. All right. So knowledge is not limited to one place. You have to go to different sites and see this thing yourself. All right. So this is the end of this particular topic. Uh, we'll see you in the next topic. Okay, so this is module 4.3. We'll be talking about installing access control hardware, mounting readers and locks, and the wiring devices to control panel, and safety compliance. Okay, so when you are mounting your readers, like I said, readers are meant to be outside, so someone can have access to it, either through their face for face authentication or their biometric for their finger or their card. So the reader is outside. So inside is the exit button. At the top is the magnetic lock. So the ideal thing to do is to mount your reader outside. Then you can drill by the wall, drill inside the wall inside. So the wire connectivity will go inside, and inside you can put your exit button at that spot where you're putting where you're drilling, or you move it to a side where it can be easy for one to press it. Okay, so the wiring for the connectivity is not showing, it's inside the wall. You see if everything is there, fit. All right, so from inside the other wire goes up to the mag lock. All right, then you position your power supply somewhere to power the device. Okay, so all this has to be well planned and managed. Okay, so it's very, very, very important. If you look at this drawing, this diagram, well, you see that all the wires, they are meeting the reader. It's very important. All the wire from the mag lock, from the exit button, that on the reader. Then the reader, is the one doing the authentication. That's for a standalone. For a network base, all the reader are now linked together to a central controller. That controller now links to a system, which can do the card issuance and you know, other authentications and logs, backing up of logs, checking of logs and stuffs. Okay, so safety compliance also, we usually advise that will follow all the safety compliance on the wiring. Ensure you use original quality wire. Wire are not exposed. They're not exposed to, you know, they're not open. Any cable that is open should be well taped and ensure uh, is well managed inside like a box or inside the trunk. So it won't shock people. It will not touch each other. When the cable touch, because voltage that are passing through this cable, when they touch, it can lead to uh, they can send the wrong signal or current, to the system or even burn the system. So all these things has to be checked. All right. So the right cable has to be laid. The right proper cable has to be managed and well laid. All right. This is very important for mounting. Like I used to say, collaboration is the biggest innovation. Work with uh, people that are already in the game, that knows about uh, how to install. Will refer some people to you that can assist you, work with you, in installation, in the first installation. And from there, you can, start picking up installation projects yourself. Okay. All right. So that's that for the wiring and connectivity. So we're going to be sharing some practical video on how to do this particular task. All right. Okay, so this is the end of this particular topic. See you in the next topic. Okay, so in access control, you have to add users, create profile. For instance, you set up a small store of about 10 staff or 20 staff. You have to create credentials. You have to create, users for all your staffs. If there are 10, all their record, their biometric, their fingers, has to enter the system. Then you create roles and permissions for them. Okay, so for instance, if you are using a card solution, you assign card to all the members of your staff. You can print their ID information on the RFID card. All right. So you assign roles and responsibility and the privileges to them. You can say this your card can only open this door. This card can open all the doors, which is the master. Then some managers of the company can be given some kind of access and roles to assign, to be able to open multiple doors and enter different offices. So this is where you can assign and add users. You have to create users profile and give them permission on the network. So on the software you are going to be using for iVision to do that is the IVMS 4200. IVMS 4200 AC access control, or you can use the BioTime for ZK Techo. This can allow you to create users for newly enrolled staff. You can also do this on the device itself. We're going to be showing some practical on how to do this. You log into the device, enroll all your staff. If there are 10, enroll their faces, their biometric, their name, their record on the system. So when they come in the morning, if it's face recognition, they show their face, they get access and enter the facility. If it's card, they swipe their card. If it's biometric, they use a biometric. There must have been like a profile, that you must have created for all the users. So when somebody that is not on the network comes, it is not authorized, the system will know and will not allow that person gain access. It will just tell the person user denied, access denied. All right. So the person will not be able to enter. So we're going to log into the software and show you how to create users so you can watch it and understand how to use the software. All right. It's very straightforward and easy to use. Just create a user, assign roles and responsibility for them, and privileges. Privileges is where they can access on the floors on the building. You can also do this on the device, like I said. You can press the device using the buttons and navigate to where to create roles and privileges. Okay, all right. So that's that. We're going to be very brief. The next is going to be the video that will be down on this module, so you can watch the video on how to add users. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back to this 4.5. So you have to configure schedule. Schedule, okay, let's say the company resume by 8 o'clock. You can configure schedule that, from 8 o'clock, everybody can start gaining access to the building. Then once it's 12, you cannot gain access again. So you can configure different kind of levels, schedules for users, for staffs, and for member. So everything will be done on the software. And remember synchronization. Anything you configure on the software has to be synchronized, which is send this back to the system. Then all the user that enrolled or the system will be synchronized with the software. So there will be like a two-way communication all the time between the software and the system, which is a device. So you see that the system is on the LAN network or the wireless network, but the computer that is running the software will be fetching this data to and fro the network, and anything is set on the software will be transferred to the system. So there's always a way to synchronize, to fetch data between the two devices. This is very important because the idea is control, and the system is the one that controls the hardware, which is the reader. So you set as an administrator, you launch your software, set your rules. We're going to check all that practically. Set all your rules, set your privileges for users, and you synchronize it to the system, to the hardware outside, which is by the door, so it can understand and carry out the instruction you have given to it. So all this will be done on the IVMS for the 200 or IVMS 4200 AC or 5200. It controls all these devices and tell them instruction on what to do. You can configure shifts and security policies. Uh, you know, a lot can be done. You can also configure restricted zones that this area no cars should work except the top managers, top leaders, top management staff's cards should work out on that doors. Okay, all right. So schedule configuration, access level. You can also be generating audits using the computer. Everything is done on the computer. It's easier for this data to be transferred to Excel sheets and be understood or better compared to you pressing the terminal to get all this information. They're not going to be very clear or explanatory. So if you take it to the system, you can generate this thing, you can transfer it, export it as an Excel sheet, Excel file, so you can analyze and watch the data and monitor the logs, who comes in, who goes out. They're very, very crucial for audit. So you can audit. That's the essence of the access control. You want to know who enters this place, who goes out, who access the server room at so time. So for record purposes, you need to use your software to fetch all this data from the hardware. So any configuration you do also on the hardware, on the software, can be transferred to the hardware using the system. So this system skill is very, very important. We're going to be installing the IVMS for the 200 and doing all this configuration for you to see practically. Okay. All right. So the next will be videos, and of the live demonstration and configuration for you to see all these things how they work practically. Okay, because we said this is a complete uh, access control training class and the business class also. So we're going to be showing you all the practical and the live demonstration of all these things, how they work. Okay, so this is the end of module 4. What you're going to be seeing next is the video of all this thing we've talked about. Briefly, we'll see the video and we'll be able to understand, connect the dots. All right, thank you very much. This is the end of this particular module. See you in the next module. Okay, so welcome back to class. You're welcome back to this class. This is a complete access control installation and business training. This is the module 5. And in this module, going to be very straightforward. We'll be talking about integration of access control with other systems. That's combining access control with CCTV and alarm system. We'll just explain all the possibilities. And we'll be talking about remote access, which is accessing your access control on your phone from anywhere in the world. You're able to monitor your logs, check your logs. You can do a lot of smart function with your phone. Ignition has made that very, very easy and possible over the cloud. Those days, these functions are usually possible with DDNS, with some server, computer, and all. Then we're talking about anti-pass back and tailgating. We'll be just explaining them. Those are features that you can use to win contracts. Okay, so let's go straight into it. Okay, but I just imagine a scenario where you get to a facility, then the camera scans your face. You enter the place first. The camera outside sees you. The one inside sees you. Then, because you are an employee of the place, you get into the door area and you have your credentials, either your ID card or your biometric or your fingerprint or your PIN, already registered on the system. So when you strike, when you put your thumb or you flash your card, the camera focus on you directly and start recording you, and start capturing all the images. Then also you could also look at the fact that on unauthorized access, unauthorized people trying to flash their card or try some funny things, the camera can just be configured to just look at those events automatically. There's a lot of smart functions and integration you can do uh, between CCTV and access control in a secured environment. These are ideal for secure, highly, secured environment like banks, agencies, security agencies, and stuff like that. You can do some basic functions like, you know, surveillance, video surveillance linkage, intrusion detection linkage, and what have you. So you can read up on the what you can link up to your access control. It's very straight and straight to the point. Also, you could look at the configuration. All have to be network embedded. They have to be close on the same network as the access control terminal and the NVR or the IP cameras. They're going to be on the same local network, so they can interoperate, they can interconnect seamlessly. But you have to ensure that these products are from the same, compatible brand manufacturers. That's why I usually advise when you are using the our product for CCTV, you can also use our access control for integration so they can marry, they can interconnect and interoperate. It's usually very ideal. If you are doing eye vision, it's ideal to use eye vision access control and eye vision camera for better integration, for compatibility and interoperability. So you don't run into problem and start talking to brands, start talking to because these guys they must have done their research and ensure that their products are you know are able to interoperate and integrate together, and you are able to test those functions. And when you have issues, you can call on them, send them mails, they will assist. All right. So this is just basic, interoperability and integration class. So just know that it's possible that we can integrate CCTV and access control together with intrusion alarm, with fire alarm. A lot of integration is going on nowadays now, because collaboration is the biggest innovation. Even in Internet of Things, electronics, they're integrating, they're linked, together. So we also should interpret and collaborate with people, with our friends and family, and what have you. Okay, so this is the end of this class. Very straight to the point. So see you in the next module. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back to this module. All right, so this module we'll be talking about remote access and cloud solutions. Remote access is just ability to check your door from anywhere in the world. There's some model of eye vision cameras that has a eye vision access control radar that has a camera as a functions. Meaning that you can see who is at the door on your phone. You can decide to use your phone to lock their door or unlock the door. These guys are really working day and night to ensure that technology evolve from one point to the latest. They are not sleeping at all. Okay, look at your setup. We're going to do the practical configuration of what this thing you're seeing. We're going to watch it. We'll show you how everything connects together. You can see the exit button, then the reader, then the lock. So those are the devices we are going to be using. This same model of Vision reader. You can see the connectivity. All of them connect together. Then on your phone, you can watch it from anywhere in the world and lock and unlock. Okay, so it's very easy to add it to your device. After the connection setting up, you have to add your timer at your machine, your access control device to your phone using the iConnect application. So it's very easy. Just download the app on your phone, register, create your account, and when you get to this interface, click on add the device and click on QR code. There's a QR code at the back of the device. Then you scan it. It will ask you for the verification code for security reasons. Then you select your access level. Then you complete. You select the areas. You have to create an area and select it. Then you click on complete. But mind you, your time and date is very important. Always ensure you set your date and time for you to have the actual, feedback of all the thing and data synchronization on the system. So this part is very important for you to ensure is well set. So this device also has a function where you can, do the team mode. You can do the team mode. You can actually do this on iConnect Pro as a team. Check your settings, check your configuration. You can see now you had your device. This is done on the system. Then device name, give it a name. Then the time zone, like I mentioned, always set your time zone and select your area that you had. This is very self-explanatory and always straight to the point. Big Vision, they've made life very easy. So that's why I always clamor for their products when you're doing deployment because it's easy to install, easy to maintain. There are a load of people that have used it in the past. So when you have issues, you can always see people that have face similar challenges or issues, I can talk to, and they can, give you their recommendations or their ideas on how they were able to resolve it. So we usually advise people to deploy and try e-vision product for their installation and for their site. And trust me, you'll not regret it. All right, so this is the end of this particular topic. We'll be looking at the next topic in this module. See you in the next class. Okay, so welcome back to this class. In this particular class, we'll be talking about anti-passback and tailgating, because these are the terminologies you'll be hearing when it comes to access control. And they're actually very cool functions, that you have to understand how they work, so you can also look out for them when you are buying your product and ensure, they have some of these smart functions and they can do all these, basic configurations. Okay, so what is a anti-passback? So basically, if you deploy an installation for a door access control, you usually use a reader in, then exit button out. Meaning that when somebody is coming into the building, they flash their cards, that's card reader, or they use their biometrics, for their thumb or profile, or they use their face or pin, to gain access to the facility. Okay, so when they are going out, they use exit button to go out. All right. So now, some people basically now try to use their card inside, then pass the card to another person to gain access to that same building. Meaning that a particular card that you flash now, PIN, you gain access. It can be given to another person, PIN, to gain access to the building. So that's allowing multiple access using one card, which is not secure. So we want to be able to activate anti-passback, meaning that once you use your card inside, it will not allow another person to use it inside until you use it to go outside. So the card has to be registered as exit before it can be registered as entrance again. All right. So when the card comes in, it has to go out before you can be registered at come, for it to come inside again. Or else it won't allow the card, it will tell it access denied. So which is very secure and very good. So in this solution, we have to use a system that has that function, that features of anti-passback, which is the features of the reader, and both ways there will be reader instead of exit button out, it will be reader in, reader out. So in that case, the two reader will link together, using some protocol. It could be Wigand, it could be RS485, depending on the kind of reader you're using. So when a reader is outside by the door, another reader is inside. So when you flash your card inside, you have to flash your card to go outside the place. So you don't have, that privilege of passing your card to another person to gain access to the building. Do you understand? So it's a very basic setup or configuration. Reader in, reader out to avoid anti passback, to deploy the anti passback technology or solution. All right. So your reader in, reader out, then exit button. Mag lock at the top of the building. Then your power supply, and you do your connection, which I'm going to do practically for you to understand. You follow your color coding, cables, and stuff like that. So anti-passback is actually a very cool technology and innovation that you all should know as an installer, as an integrator, as a technology person that you are. You have to understand anti-passback and how to deploy it, how to, discuss about it with your customer and your client. Okay? All right, so let's look at tailgating. Okay, so tailgating is basically somebody trying to follow somebody that have access. This person have access to go through, another person following it, following that person to gain access. Tailgating without the consent, without the knowledge of the person that has access. That's tailgating. All right. So there are some settings that you can use to minimize or stop all this tailgating. And some people call another style, they call it piggybacking. Piggybacking is when the person that have access is actually aware of the person that is behind them. They want to use their own access to clear another person. It's called piggybacking. All right. So tailgating is they don't know, they are not aware. The person that is going inside He's not aware that somebody is following me. That's tailgating. Then piggybacking is they are aware. They want to use their own access or clearance or credentials. It could be a card, it could be biometric to clear another person. There are some settings, and some integration, maybe with like cameras to stop all those kind of hacks in a very secured environment. All right, so we have to understand these functions and this innovation as as a system integrator that we have is very very important. Okay, so this is the end of this particular module. All right, module 5 is over. So we'll see you in module 6. Bye. Okay, so welcome back to module 6. This is module 6 of the complete access control installation and business training. Okay, so in this module 6, we'll be talking about troubleshooting and maintenance, which is you cannot run from it when it comes to access control. There must be issues. This life is full of issues, so expect issues. Those are issues that will make you, better in your, uh, endeavor as a system integrator. They make you, they challenge you to make research and want to learn more. All right, but there's no issue or challenge you're facing that uh, another person has not faced before. So don't be dismayed. You have to be strong, get ready. And access control is a very technical field. So you have to be very, very attentive to details, configuration, settings, and all. We're talking about the common issues. We're talking about the routine maintenance and other small, small accessories and areas where you can optimize and ensure that your system is up to date and running well. Okay, so let's go straight into the class. All right, so you have to understand the hardware. We also always malfunctions. We're talking about the diagnosing hardware and software faults, which is resolving connectivity and power supply issues. All right, these are common issues that you have to face on site. You cannot run from them. But the secret is planning your power from the onset. You have to understand all your devices' power ratings and power requirements. You have to understand that okay, your maglog, this is the power rating based on the brand you are using, your exit button, uh, your readers, the kind of cable you use, all the components you are using together, they are reliable and you know their power rating. You now combine all this together. This will now advise you on the kind of power supply to deploy. All right, to avoid hardware malfunctions or problem or issues. Ensure you have the right power supply. If, for instance, the total requirement is about 12 volts, 2 amps, you can do 12 volt, 4 amps. So you can have failures and redundant. So you won't overpower your power supply for it not to fail or start giving you problems. All right. So you have to read up on the write up to understand the theory better. Also, for hardware damage, we have the natural damage and the non-natural damage. Like for instance, every hardware or every devices will fail at some point due to probably aging or environmental conditions or the lifespan the device has reached its end of life, or even the manufacturer might stop supporting the hardware, or even the software, the firmware, you can't get upgrade again. It's possible. It happens. It has happened to me several times. There are some old devices that I like, that are reliable. All of a sudden, they just stop, using them in the market. The manufacturer stops supporting them. In that case, you have to just, buy another hardware. You can upgrade again. There are some new functions that might be released to to the system, to the market, because of the fact that you are using an old hardware. You might be stuck. You cannot upgrade. You cannot, you know, uh, use those functions, those latest features again because your hardware is outdated, is obsolete. All right. So this is very important. I have to pay attention to this. You know. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Another issue is system integration issues, which is integrating a device to another device. We have to look at compatibility. It's very important. I mentioned in last slide that if you're using Ignition for your access control, you have to use Ignition for your CCTV to achieve a particular integration function. Or if you are using DAOA or you are using TDSI, Look out for compatibility, like devices that are so compatible that they can work seamlessly together. It's very, very important. All right. So let's look at the next topic, which is the network, the solution rather. Ensure compatibility, develop a clear integration plan. You have to have like an integration plan. What do you want to achieve? I want to achieve intrusion detection. I want to achieve automatic capturing of whoever swipes their card or flash their card or use their biometric at my door. You have to know what you want to integrate and what you want to achieve with your cameras and your access control. What do you want to achieve? You have to design and specify. So you now start looking for the best product that will achieve that functions for you. All right. So let's look at the network security issues. You have to look at deploying third factor authentication. Ignition has that function, meaning that you need to enter the verification code to gain access to the network, to the device, because hacking is real all over the world is real. That's a major challenge that the world is trying to deal with. So you have to ensure that your access control reader, since it's online, anything that is online can be attacked. All right. If it's offline, maybe the attack can be minimal due to the person has to be on your closed network and physically connect to your Wi-Fi network or your LAN network to gain access, or if drop, via some wires to your network to gain access. But if it's online, it can be hacked through some of the ports, the web ports, that these devices use for remote access, they can be, backdoor to gain access. All right. So it's better you use third party, third layer, third factor authentication to, for remote access to your devices. This is very important. Okay. So let's look at the access control issues, which is identification, authentication, failures, key management, post system security, incorrect user credentials, technical malfunctions. They have solutions. Everything has solutions. All right. Then you can use access control system with strong authentication protocol. All right. Like I said, such as multi-factor authentication and biometric verification. You can use them together. All right. So you can read up on this guide. Also, Google is your friend. Google is your friend. You just have to learn how to search for some errors, because there's no error you are facing or issues you are facing that has not been faced by anybody before. Access control is very basic and simple, straight to the point. It's very straight to the point. All right. Just do your connection properly, follow the manufacturer's, color code, and you'll be fine. Okay. So that's the end of this particular module, this particular topic. I'll see you in the next class. Welcome back to this class. In this class, we're talking about the routine maintenance and inspection you're supposed to be doing on your devices after installation. So normally, when you are done with installation, you don't just leave your site or equipment like that. That has to be like a maintenance culture because these devices they are very sensitive. Maybe like a quarterly maintenance or yearly maintenance agreement or on a request basis from you to your client. This is very important. Okay, so you have to keep your devices very clean. All right, so you have to get like a brush. Once in a while, you just open it. Dust all the areas that you feel like is exposed. All right. Then you have to also test and calibrate regularly. Then firmware update is very important. You have to secure your power supply because that's the core. If the power supply fails, everything is going to shut down. You have to now also monitor and analyze your logs. You know, then also look at training, which is very important because if you don't train the users, small issues like this or little or minor issues they can resolve, they will call your phone. The phone will keep ringing and ringing and ringing till you have to go there yourself to resolve it. So you have to learn how to explain. There's no secrecy in this thing. Let them know where the cable connects, how the power supply works, where and where to on the device, where to switch it off in case of issues or failure. This is very important. Okay, so let's go to next topic. Let's look at the firmware update and upgrade. Firmware is very, very important. You have to always ensure that it's up to date. Okay, so for people that are not familiarized, are not familiar with this firmware thing, let's explain what firmware is. Firmware is basically the type of software that are embedded into a device hardware to help you run they're installed during manufacturing processes. When they are manufacturing the devices, that's where they embed the firmware on it. And this is very important. They enable the device to run, to operate, to interpret, to connect, to interact and do their basic functions why they are created. They are done by the manufacturers. Okay, so you have to update them regularly in case there's a new release, new function that just comes out. You have to do your upgrade, but the upgrade has to be done on the internet. It's either you upgrade from the device to the internet directly, or you go and download the firmware on a flash drive. You connect the flash drive to your device and browse it and do your updates. It's very simple and straightforward. All right. So this is very important. All right, so let's look at the in case you have bad firmware or wrong firmware or outdated firmware, you have to ensure that that doing your update regularly. All right, then training and support for users and staffs. You have to train them on how to do some basic functions. What we usually do in our setup is to get one person. This person is the admin person or the controller. So in case of issues, this is a point of contact in the organization. So you don't have to jump, or start running there or getting bothered or just call the person. Do this, carry out that. Before you know, it's sorted. All right. So basically, that's how to carry out your basic, firmware strategy and features. All right. So this is the end of this particular, class. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back to class. In this class, we'll be talking about ways to ensure a system uptime, so your access control system can be running optimally 247. This is very important. You have to explore some certain strategies, which is power backup. Power backup is very important. Ignition has a power supply that you can deploy you know, that has a very good battery that lasts very long because without power, all this system will not function. So you have to ensure that you have a good power supply to back up your system. It's very important. So basically that's it. And let's look at emergency override and procedures. In case of, let's assume there is a fire outbreak, these are the issues that you have to understand as a new system integrator just coming into the market. You have to understand how this thing works because in case of fire problem, they will ask you how do you disengage the system. You have to plan and provide a strategy or a plan for your clients, in case of a failure, and you have people that have to troop out. In the case of a high rise or a normal building with multiple employees, there's a fire outbreak or emergency, and they all need to escape. So that should be a plan. Okay, so this kind of plan, you have to outline it and hand over to your client when you're doing your final handing over of your project. This is very important because nobody knows when issues like this will come up, but there should be a plan, a very clear-cut plan in case it happens. As we all know that this maglock, uh, they use a magnetic, lock and the armature. They connect together, so nothing can separate them. No matter how strong you are, you think you can open them, you cannot force them open. And so it's important to understand this fact and know that when you cut out power supply to the system, the door will disengage. That's the power, will make sure that the maglock and the armature, they disengage and all the doors will be open. All the doors will be open. So people can go out and, and escape the building. This is very important. Then also, you have to look at this ZL bracket. When you are buying your maglock, you have to ensure that you buy your ZL bracket. The ZL bracket is the bracket you're going to be using to mount it on the door and on the frame. So looking at this picture, this is the connection. So the mag lock itself is on the frame and the armature is on the door. So the ZL bracket, is carrying both components and ensuring they're well aligned, to contact each other to bring about that force of attraction and will not allow the door to just be open. Okay, so the ZL bracket they come about with the word ZL bracket because it's the shape. If you look at this other one below, it's L shape. The one at the top is Z. It's like this, then down, then back. That's Z. Uh, that's Z alphabet. Then the one below is L. So that's how they come about the ZL bracket. So I feel like you need to understand this fact. So from the lock itself, there will be a cable that will go all the way to the reader. Then the other inside part, there will be another cable that will come from the exit button. Then there will be a cable that will come for the power supply. All these components work together to form a comprehensive access control system. They are all doing their own bit. So one, is a system. Everybody is contributing their own quota to the system. They are working together as a team. Okay. So in case of emergency or failure, you have to ensure that you disengage or disconnect power to all the doors, so all the maglock can be free and widely open for people to move in and move out and evacuate the building. Then another uh, thing to also plan is get a card like a MasterCard that can have access to all doors. Just get the card ready and keep it somewhere safe. In case of emergency, that card can open all doors. People can evacuate. In case of you can't get power uh, to be cut out from the device. Another thing to get emergency door release. Emergency door release, usually like a on and on switch. It has a key, so nobody can go and off it until you have the key. So the key can be with the admin person. In case of a power failure, you can use it to disengage the entire door. All right, this is very important. Then we have to also look at the emergency override function, which is, like I said, how it works, the physical key override. In the case of smart lock, you can use the emergency lock, which is the physical key to open the door. In case the application or software failed or internet failure, you can use the physical key. Then you can use the dedicated override switch, which we just showed you, and you can use the software override in the case of a centralized, access control system for iRise or for multiple doors. Okay, this is very important. You have to also ensure regular testing of your devices. All these things have to be working efficiently because when the emergency arises, you can't be caught in the corner, moving around, confused and panicking. So regular testing will ensure that these devices they're all working, they're all up to date and intact. So when that time comes for emergency, you have your devices to fall back to, and they will respond and function, properly for you. Okay. All right. So this is the end of this particular module 6. So we'll be going to the practical where we'll be showing you how to connect everything together like a lab. We'll show you all these devices, you see them, we'll power them up for you to see and do the connection and do all the other configuration for you to understand. So I thank you very much for your time in this class and see you in the next class. Okay, so welcome back to class. This is module 9 of the complete CCTV installation and business training. Okay, so this module are going to be very straightforward and just stress on the main topic. Okay, so we'll be talking about company registration and how to go about it, in your regions, depending on where you are watching this video, you're listening to my voice from, from Nigeria, which is the western part of Africa. So what we'll focus on here, uh, on business registration is the CAC, uh, that's the Corporate Affairs Commission. Uh, you know, later we'll research on your own countries, or you can consult local people, local registration agencies in your countries, to know how to go about your registration. But for this purpose, for this class, I'll be citing Nigeria as an example. All right. Okay. So we'll talk about the other part, which is the introduction to project management. We'll talk about maintenance as a service using iVision Partner Pro. All right. We'll also talk about how to source for jobs locally in your area, then how to carry out a CCTV survey, and how to make quotation and close deals. I'm talking from experience. I've been in this sector for over 10 years, 10 to 12 years. So I know what I'm saying, how to close deals, what are the strategies to deploy. We're stressing on that in this class. Okay, so let's just dive straight into the class. Okay, so how to register your company without stress, using a tested and trusted legal practitioner and some branding strategy. We're going to be sharing that with you. Okay, so starting your business, you know, uh, the journey begins with two major steps, which is number one is company registration and your branding. Company registration and branding is very important. You have to register your company and start properly. Some of us that are listening to this class already have a registered company. It's actually very good. Keep doing it, keep running it. But some newbie that are just entering the labor market or entering the system, you need to register your company. It's very important. It's very important because there's some there's some contracts that you cannot bid for with your name. You have to come as a company, as a brand. All right. So you can see the advantage of registering a company. We have different advantages. You know, it gives you a legal identity. You know, your company is your legal is an entity on its own. So it gives you legal identity as a brand. All right. So it make your company more trustworthy and credible. All right. So it's going to be more trustworthy and credible. All right. So you attract customers. All right, and you build loyalty by showcasing what your business stands for. All right, so this is very important. You have to really, strive to, be standard, follow the rules of your regions. For Nigeria, is Corporate Affairs Commission. All right, so you can explore the options they have. You can either do a business name and TIN number. A TIN number means TIN tax identification number. So when you do this package together, it goes for this price. We have a partner that we work with. This guy is very tested and trusted. We have been working with him for years and he has never failed us. This guy is very popular on Instagram. He has won so many awards, both local and international. So even if you want to register a company like outside Nigeria, outside the shores of West Africa, this guy can help you, get it done. We have worked with him in different areas and he never fails. He's also a lawyer. He's a lawyer. When we have some company issues, our documentation, we're engaging, we consult him, and he always comes through. All right, so I'll be sharing his number. Okay, so his number is on the screen. You can call him and talk to him and engage him. He's always ready to help on WhatsApp. You can call him, you can chat him on WhatsApp. He has a dedicated team that are always ready to engage you and talk to you and solve problems. All right. So you can either try the business name and TIN number. All this thing will be done on WhatsApp. You text him on WhatsApp. He does your name verification. He does everything for you. He send you your certificate of registration all on WhatsApp. He send you your TIN number. You can take it to the bank and do all your transaction. You know, I've tested him and trusted him for years, not 1 year, not 2 years. So I know this guy very well. So you know, you can bank on him. He's a good person, always responsive and answering queries and questions on WhatsApp. All right. So you can also explore other friends and family that are into registration. As for me, I've tried this guy. That's why uh, I'm recommending this guy. He has done a lot for us. Okay, so basically that's the end of this module. You can contact him on WhatsApp. His name is Ayokunle. uh, it's very reliable. Trust me, a registered company for foreigners, for Nigerians, for people outside the shores of this country and all. All right. So thank you very much. This is the end of this particular topic. I just want to be straight, straight to the point. You also consult people in your country or your region to help you, like register your brand or your company. It mustn't be this guy. If you have another person that you can work with that is reliable, you can consult him. But we are just recommending him because we have worked with him before. You can be in Kano, you can be anywhere in Nigeria. Chat him on WhatsApp. He will get the job done and send a certificate to you, tested and trusted. All right. If you're watching from Ghana, from Rwanda, from Liberia, from any part of the world that are listening to me, you can just consult your local content, your local, agencies that are in charge of registration. All right. So thank you very much for this particular opportunity. All right. So I'll see you in the next module. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back to this class, 7.2, how to source for jobs, how to carry out surveys, make quotations, and close deals. Okay, so this is very straightforward. So you have to build a strong brand identity. That's register your company. You have to, get all your documentation, tax documents, get all this thing ready because you can get a call tomorrow to come and survey a big building or bid for a project. Don't be caught unaware. So get all this document ready so you can get going and enter the street with your document and go and measure, count all the doors. When it's time for implementation, we'll give you the right partners to work with for the actual implementation. But you have to know how everything works, how to install, how to maintain, how to do quotation, how to win deals. It's very important because trust me, collaboration is the biggest innovation. You can't do it alone. No man is an island. You get a big job, you cannot do it alone except you want to be getting small, small jobs. So learn how to collaborate, how to work with people, how to interact and relate with people is very important. Okay, so you have to also leverage on digital marketing. That's the biggest market in the world now. Social media, advertise your product, your brand, always post regularly, keep posting. On your story, put your, what you do on your story. You should be proud of your jobs. We are done with this training, post it, your milestone in life, post it, let it go online, let people see you. That's your story. That's why they call it story. Imagine you're always posting something that's totally different from what you do. Everybody will have a picture of that in their mind that that's what you are about, and they will see you in that light. So let them know you as a CCTV installer, as an access control engineer, as a fire alarm expert. Is very important. So when they have a need for that thing anywhere, you will come to their mind. But if you're always posting memes, posting comedy, posting, you're not proud of what you're doing, that's not cool. Post it, let people know, let the world know it's a legit and recognized business that is known all over the world you're doing. All right. So you have to also network locally in your church, friends and family, talk to them, and offer attractive packages. You can do a combo packs, do get a graphic designer, use Canva to make your designs. Let people see you, post your stuff, engage people on your new milestone. Let them know what you know how to do. Code outreach also is very important. Then use referrals and word of mouth. Okay, these are very important. You have to also advertise, run promoted ads on Instagram, target a particular sector, maybe real estate or high-rise building or oil and gas or the banking sectors. Just go to them and tell them your innovation and what you can do. Before you know, you get your first job, your second job. If it's properly done, referral will start coming in. You have to be ready to enter the market. Okay. All right. So you have to also, uh, update your profile on your social media, highlight your milestone, your achievement, your expertise. Let people know that you're not a certified access control specialist or technician or installer or integrator. It's very important because trusting at the end of this video or this course, you're going to understand, how access control work. We're going to show you the practical connect all the hardware. You watch the video, you see them, you know. So when you get your new job, you get your first project, we can like collaborate with you on and advise you on how to execute, right? So also you have to learn how to use technology to solve problems. This is a quotation making application. It's a cloud-based quotation creating application. It's by Zoho, the free app. Which the free version is, you can handle everything you want it to do. If you now want the advanced features, you might have to get the license, and so you can start using it, right? So it's a very smart app that you have to explore your own and see how it works. Take your time, create your account, create your account on Zoho. These are the procedure on how to do it, and this is how it looks like. You can do your invoice, list all your items, the price, the quantity, You can send it to your customer, you receive payment online. It's very easy and simple. You can do all this in your smartphone, you can do it in your computer. That's what people are using all over the world. It has a whole lot of features. Zoho is a very powerful tool with a lot of features that you can use. You can see the interface. That's how it looks like. You can see how to create invoice. You click on invoices, then click on the plus sign to start a new invoice. Then you put the customer name. This is also a very good tool to keep record of all your customers' informations, their names, and it's secure, it's safe, it's on the cloud. Meaning that any application, any software, any phone you are using tomorrow, you just log onto your account, you see everything. So that's a new normal all over the world. Gone are days when you have to use Microsoft Word or Excel to type quotation, you know, or invoices. Everything should be on the cloud. So, paperless, operation, your mobile phone, you're making quotation. And when it comes out, it's professional, it's standard. So let's take our time and watch, the procedure and how this is done. You can see the SM details. If you are paying tax, you can apply the tax on all the items. It will automatically calculate the tax and add it to the invoice. You can now integrate your payment gateway to receive payment. So your client can pay automatically online. Okay, so you can preview and send. This is how it will come out. You carry your company address, your logo, your address, your phone number, all the information about your company will be on the invoice. You can see, you can export it to CSV file or to PDF. All right, so you can create multiple invoices. This app is very, very, very reliable. Okay, so client sees it and pay now, can make payment, and the payment gets to your account. So this is very, very, very good app that I will implore you to start using. With a free tool that has been supporting businesses, small and medium enterprise. So you have to hop in and join the moving train. You might also have a tool that you're familiar with that you're already using. You can just keep on using it. We actually advise people to use a cloud-based invoicing system because 10, 15 years time, everything is still intact, it's in the cloud, unlike a regular paper and pen kind of invoice. So this is more uh, reliable and dependable because of the fact that it's cloud-based. And Zoho is a very, very known platform. It's been in the industry for a long time. So I trust them so much. You can create a lot of business documents. You can create a credit note. You can create invoices. You can create estimation. All right. So I'll implore you to always use this app, and you can see you can check history. You can create comment. You can add comment on your invoices for your record. Maybe if the person has paid or they're owing or something. All right. So that's that for Zoho. Okay, so that's the end of this particular class and module. So I'll see you in the module 7, in module 8 rather. Okay, so welcome back to this module 8. In this module, we're taking you on a tour, to Ignition West Africa HQ. Uh, we'll also explain application for DPP partnership. All right. So we'll also talk about the top distributors to purchase reliable product and huge uh, retailer deals, to start your retail store in case you want to start your own store around access control, security, CCTV industry. Okay, so the industry is very lucrative. Security is a huge business all over the world now. Okay, so this is their store. So they are located at Churchgate Building, Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. You can see their the access control uh, system they have there, like a turnstile access control, like a walkthrough or walk-in. Okay, so they have different kind of products, or sampled, so you can let us know if you're interested. You want to have a tour of their HQ, or book appointment for you. Look at the access control, the minimal access control. That's the panel, and that's their rack. That four-door panel displays. Those are cameras on the screens. You know, so these guys are really doing wonders. Their products are very affordable, and they are ready to support when you have projects. Then when you have a customized project or client's needs, they can help you customize something to suit your need, or they advise you on the kind of their product to use that will solve that particular problem. So you have to also ensure that you know you understand the architecture of what you want to achieve or what you're doing. These guys are really, really reliable. We've been on their products, using their product for a long time. Access control, CCTV, time attendance, different kind of solutions. All right, those are their cameras and you know other product they have. Okay, so that's me and my partners, my colleagues, my friends. We went there to get some, you know, accreditation. All right, so these guys are really, really cool. You can try them out. Okay, so in Nigeria, if you're in Nigeria, you want to buy, you want to purchase, these are their top partners they're working with. The cloud security guys, they're cool. Any product you need, they help you source it both locally or internationally. If they don't have it in any market in Nigeria, cloud security can help you bring them in from, South Africa, from Dubai, from many countries, express shipments. There's some projects that you want to do, you might not find the cameras in, right in the market. But these guys will get you, linked or connected to this product from anywhere in the world for you to execute your project. All right, so these are the guys, and I and my team will took like a tour. Uh, we went to the office of these guys. I just share you their numbers. We went to do like a tour and see the entire market space, and to show you the markets in Lagos, how the streets looks like. So these are the office. This is Kimango's office in Lagos. The team are getting ready to move to your site. That's to the site, to the market, to show you these are the team that are working day and night to ensure that all these things are linked together, that everything works well. Okay, so they're ready, getting ready. That's Angela and that's Chisom. They're getting ready to go to the market space. And that's Tom Milan Bridge, Lagos, Nigeria. This guy is a very good guy. He has great products. Sekalis, Chibuzo, that's his store. You can ship to anywhere, can ship to you, that's his store. That's his number there. So you have his store uh, picture, how it looks like. You can call him to order products. He will ship it to you. You know him, who can, you took a tour quickly to another location just to ensure that you have different partners or different source to procure products. So you can compare prices, you can do your analysis before you buy. These are the top dogs in the CCTV access control market in Lagos, Nigeria. Secalis, Jasco, Cloud Security, Microview, Badui, Datacom Express, a lot of them. So I'm just showing you a few of them, but their number are on the list for you to contact them for transaction and business. Okay, so that's the street of Computer Village in Lagos. This is Jasco. Jasco is a very big. As a matter of fact, they were one of the first people to bring vision to West Africa, Lagos, Nigeria. They are one of the first companies to bring high vision down there. They brought high vision to Nigeria, so before that people start joining them and bringing those products to Nigeria. Okay, so that's Jasco. That's their compound. There are a lot of other activities that are going on there. Okay, so that's their display. They have field display for access control and lock and stuff and what have you. Okay, so they also sell other things. I don't know what they sell, lights and other stuff. Okay, so we'll just show you two guys, those two guys alone. Okay, so we can now go on to if you are like in another region, maybe like South or Abuja, part of Nigeria. So you can also check these guys. These guys are very strong when it comes to high vision products. You can check them out, you can call them, you know, they're very reliable. Okay, so thank you. This is the end of this class of access control. The rest will be practical. I'll see you in class.